Yo, peddlers, welcome back to the podcast. This is your host, Norby, and I hope you enjoy this next episode. Let's talk about, maybe to start, what has changed since the last time we spoke. I don't remember when that was. When was that actually? Last year sometime, I guess?
Over a year ago, I think.
Over a year, right? Possible, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, possible. So
Yeah.
a lot has changed. Obviously, I've seen you going around the world and going to places and things. So give us a little bit of update on what has changed life as an agent and what has changed a little bit.
Yeah. First of all, thanks for the invite. It seems like we've been growing together into this industry, or like paddle world, let's call it. We're in this together.
Yeah, that's what I'm feeling as well. Yeah. But that's why I'm really excited. That's why I'm super excited to have you on there, because it's like you're getting involved a little bit as well. You obviously have your main part somewhere else, but slowly seeing the potentials or whatnot in it, and I'm in it full time, but I'm seeing other potentials as well. So I think we're, as you said, it's pretty cool. So that's why I'm super excited to have you on there.
Yeah, I mean, we'll dig deep into it, but a little update. I mean, still, very invested in the tennis side with the tennis clients. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's already been like 7 or 8 years into this agent world with IMG, but I feel like every year is different. There hasn't really been like 2 years that are the same, which it makes it very, very exciting and promising for me to even be in this world for many more years to come. It just the world changes so much. The sponsorship world changes so much all the time. So there's always like new deals to be made, different type of deals. I think last year everything was like crypto. This year, crypto is gone in a way, but there's a lot of like the Web3. So it's good. It's an area where the opportunity is big. And as far as tennis, there's always the new players. There's always the new young guys coming up. So there's always eager to find the next star and to try to help him develop into the superstar. So that's one of my favorite parts of the process always. But traveling too, I love traveling. There's the mandatory tournaments that we need to be at, like the Grand Slams, and IMG operates few of them, not Grand Slams, but lower level, like Miami Open, which is a 1,000. We're going to be there. The one in Rio de Janeiro, we're going to be there. So those are trips that I'll do this year. I always try to visit 2 new tournaments, events that I haven't been. Just to get to know the staff and the environment, because at some point one of your athletes, I feel like, is going to play that event, and it just makes a difference when some of the people there that you can comfortably ask them to look after your player, right? As opposed to just sending an email to someone that you've never met. And they also really appreciate when someone comes in and just goes to the event just to get to know it and build that relationship. So that's a little bit the tennis world update, I guess.
And so let's talk to the listeners. Let's give an update on what's the kind of players you've worked with in the past. Who are you working now? Some of the upcoming players that you're working with at the moment, and the experience of that.
Sure. I mean, luckily, with IMG, we're a big team. A lot of the players that we represent, at some point you end up touching one way or another, like all of them. One of our biggest clients, obviously, right now is Carlitos Alcaraz, and my colleague Albert Molina is the agent, right? But he relies on us on bringing up few ideas too, trying to execute for him when Carlitos is doing well. Of course, we have Iga Swiatek, who's had an amazing year, and we all try to bring ideas all the time to deliver, right? I guess on a day-to-day involvement, I usually work with let's call it from the non-active side. Del Potro is one of the guys that I spend a lot of time with, just having him.
So you're supporting him as an agent or more as a friend, or both?
No, agent. Yeah. Obviously, we've developed. You could say that we've developed like a friendship relationship too, like a friendly relationship. But we always keep the business first, and that's an idea how we connected. And although he's not active at the moment, with a player like him, there's a lot of things to do and a lot of things that his name could bring to the table, right? So he's trying to figure out what's gonna happen beyond the tennis, and we're trying our best to come up with ideas and to help him support and keep him active. He's very, very active and motivated to go to work, whether on the court or off court. So it's great to work with him. And then some of the current players would be on the female side. Garbiñe Muguruza, it's been a long-term client. Started to work with some Latino clients Camila Osorio from Colombia. We're starting to get involved with Bia Haddad from Brazil. And also recently also had Fer Contreras, a Mexican girl, which she had an amazing last year she qualified for the 3 Grand Slams and didn't play the Australia, but she qualified for Wimbledon, French Open and US Open. And on a Mexican, let's call it market, there hasn't been many players doing that. So it's a great one. She's a very competitive player and I'm very excited about her. And on the men's side, I've been working with Kesmanovic for a while, since he was 14 years old. There's a young up-and-comer Belgian guy. His name is Sisu Bergs, he's a fun guy. He has so much potential.
I've seen him around social media a little bit as well, so for sure.
Yeah, he's great. I love working with him. And I mean, there's few coming up too, and the young clients, doing the transition. There's a lot of names. That could be a little bit of summary, but again, it's great just to be part of a big team that, at the end, you don't necessarily, your day-to-day doesn't necessarily rely on your lead clients, but you could also be thinking about just the company in general,
helping some of the other guys. And if you have an idea, you support the other guys as well. Okay.
Correct.
Okay. And speaking of the industry as a whole, what would you say the biggest misconception of a sports agent is in the world of a public, in my eyes, in the public eye? People see you, as you said, hanging out with that Potro, with going to the Necker Island with Necker Cup and this and that, and hanging out with some other guys, that not everybody gets to hang out with. People see that side, obviously, but there's got to be a misconception that, that's a sports agent. Yeah, of course. And what is there behind the scenes that you would say people don't really know about?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. And obviously, what people can see from the the side or follow on Instagram or the TV, the player box, you're always sitting there. Not always, but most of the time. It seems like a very sexy environment, which it is. It's amazing. The opportunities that you get to experiences that you get to live. But obviously, to that is comes a lot of work, comes a lot of behind the scenes. It's 24/7 work. Yeah, it comes with a lot of pressure too. Those great experiences come with a lot of pressure because there's always the next guy that want to be there and who's always want to be willing to hustle and give that extra push. I think it's always like something that we try not to take for granted, and we never take it for granted with high profiles. We're never relaxed. We're always thinking like someone is trying to steal our clients. Always on edge and being on top. And at the end, those little things that we do on a day-to-day, is what they value the most. And I think that we're very sharp on it. But again, it's something that you need to be committed on a full-time basis, and not a lot of people can do that.
I mean, you got to live it, right? Your life is, you don't go home on a Friday evening and go check out for the weekend and come back on a Monday and start again. But you're living this life, I would say, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's funny because right now I'm working so much in the padel world that it's everything is padel right now. Whether it's Padlr, whether it's running the place, whether it's whatever it is, it's 24/7 padel something, right? And I think that's interesting because I've never worked so much in my life, and I've never had the feeling that I'm not working.
Yeah.
Because before worked in an office, for example, but something that was an office job, not like yours, because yours is an office job, but it's not. It's you're out there, you're traveling, you're meeting. But I think you and I both know that that's what we know. That's how you grew up as well. I think in the tennis that you live, that you can just go from practice Monday to Friday and then chill on the weekend and then go back to practice and then succeed after that, right? But it's cool to see you thrive in this environment as well, which is great. And a lot of people don't understand actually what that takes to live some of this, to live your job and to have that as a hobby or as a lifestyle. Your lifestyle is your job, and it fits perfectly what you're doing, and you're great at it. So that's interesting. That's a lot of people. Awesome. And I wish a lot of people would understand that, right? What you just said as well would be interesting.
Yeah, definitely. My wife understands it, because she says
that's helpful as well.
People that surround me on a day-to-day understand it, because they see how alert you have to be, and sometimes you have to compromise some of the obviously the family always comes first, and it's good to have a balanced life, but there's a lot of sacrifices you need to make to be able to be there for your client and of course care for the best interest.
No, it's also impossible without a understanding wife or girlfriend or whatever it might be. It's impossible without that. No, awesome. Let's go into a little bit of padel.
Yeah,
we've discussed at the beginning a little bit of padel, and from the last episode, people know that you play padel. I don't know if you've been playing a lot recently. I haven't seen that on Instagram before. I've seen a little bit more on that you've been playing. I'm not sure how much time you have to play. So we've gone into a little bit of the padel world. You're involved in it on a hobby level, on a playing level. We've had some WhatsApp exchanges and phone calls in this 1 year for me to know that you're looking into it in different ways as well. Yeah, I'm not sure how much you can share about the things that you can do, but let's talk about it a little bit.
Sure. I mean, padel, what can we say? It's a lot of fun, and you and I share that. Besides tennis, it's a big passion, and I think we both believe the potential of padel. We already see what's happening in Europe and South America, and I think there's a lot of untapped markets, ready for it. One of them is the US, and I think one of my goals is to try to. Obviously, it's a big market, but I feel like despite the growth on other sports, and you have the pickleball, I think it's complete different things, and there's room for both. And we can see just and the amount of padel clubs that are currently in the US compared to other countries. I think there's around only like 120 padel clubs in the US for a population of 300 million. And when you compare it to Argentina, has like 12,000 courts already, population of like 50 million, and Mexico also at least 5,000 they have. So it's just like it's the US is such in the infancy stage that it's very motivating for me personally. On a personal level, I'm working on a padel club with some close friends here in the Miami area. We're putting a lot of energy and effort, and there's a lot of opportunity there. On a business level, as an agency, we're always looking to grow and for new opportunities, and having the infrastructure that we currently have in tennis, it would only make sense for us to try to explore padel, in the levels that we already do, which is representation and events. We've seen what's happening with the tours. Obviously there's the Premier, there's the World Padel Tour. They're trying to figure out, the situation. I think I saw a social media post that they're talking now to try to see if maybe they can do something together. So it's amazing. At the same time, I came to hear from now the PPL is like a pro paddle league in the US and North America, which again, it's amazing. And I think this is something that could really promote the paddle in the US. We're reaching out. We're trying to talk to the key players and see how we can help. That's the first thing, and if padel grows, then we're going to find a way to grow together and find like the economic benefits from it. But the main goal is how can we support the business first, like, take maybe 1 or 2 years to spend time and invest in it. And we're sure that 3, 4, 5 years, we're going to start seeing some benefits. So that's a little bit the mentality approach.
My next question leading into that, how can the community help reach your goals and do something that you guys are? So what kind of, if you're, what I would like to do is you tell a couple things that are interesting to you and the community. If someone knows someone, I'll put the link or whatever to your Instagram or whatnot, and they can reach out to you. But how can I help, or how can the community help you get information, get stuff that you're maybe struggling with, or not struggling, but could be useful for you as an agent, as a whoever?
I mean, you're already doing it. You have this podcast. You are constantly posting on social media, and I know that you're, besides a great player, you're also involved in teaching, I believe. So that's great. I think it's just, and I don't know the answer, but I think it's something that I like to see. It's more like on a grassroots level for like the younger kids, because we can see a lot of like adults playing and transitioning, or the tennis players doing it. But it's going to be interesting to see how there's like an evolution of padel in the grassroots area, the kids, and how we can create the circuit and the system. Again, I don't know the answer for that, but I guess on just promoting it to the younger kids, however it may be. And if you have a family and you have kids in the family, it's like the same what you would do in tennis, that you would bring them to the tennis court, maybe just bring them to the paddle court, Now, like nowadays, you could become a padel player and make a living. Obviously, it's a little bit narrow, but
not yet. Yes, but not as many as in tennis, obviously. But yeah, you can do that.
So You can do that. You can do that. No, I think it's going to grow just because, again, we don't need to push it or force it. It's just a fun sport. It's a cool sport, even to watch from TV. I've seen it, and I think it's going to organically grow on its own. But yeah, I mean, I guess we can all do our little things here and there, right, to help.
Okay, and what I actually meant to ask, I'm not sure if I articulated it correctly. How can the community help you get some leads, or what, something it's interesting for you? Is that young players, if someone knows a young player, reach out to you, or if someone knows a coach for your club, or how can I or the community of this community who's listening help you as an agent and help you personally to reach things that you're looking for, that the goals are in the thing? So if someone's listening, listening, right? What do you need?
What I would try to turn it around is, I'm in a lucky position where, fortunately I have a network where I could be of help to a lot of the people from the community that might not have the network that I do. So if there's anyone that is passionate about opening a club, or that if they want to start to find or getting to train professionally, or a coach, like you said, they can always come to me.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah,
perfect. I like connecting dots. I like introducing to people. Yeah, I don't need anything. I guess, I'd love to reverse that into offering my network to those who would like to get into it.
No, that's awesome. That's perfect as well, because then as you said, you love connecting dots, you love connecting people. That's something that I think we also have in common. I also enjoy doing that, and when two people meet and they have something in common and they have something success, that's awesome. I feel great about that. So no, for sure, that sounds good. Now let me get to one last question. I think that could be interesting for young kids. Again, growing up, whether that's tennis or padel, what are you looking for in a young potential client as an agent? Personally, your opinion, your experience, personal, what are you looking for?
Yeah, I think it comes down to finding the right environment for the player. And I know sometimes young kids are not in control of that, because obviously they have the parents and the family, and that makes a lot of difference, right? Having the parents that they're on the right mindset or environment, or the club or the other players surrounding. If you have the talent, if you have the passion, the work ethic, and you combine it with a good environment, then it's, the chances of making it, they're really big, right? So we're looking into the right environment a lot of the times for young kids, because, again, if they could be the great talents physically and fight, but if you're dealing with a family or parents that do not really support or don't believe, it's really going to be hard for them, right? So I guess, some people are a little bit more lucky. Some kids are lucky to grow in the right environment, and some are just not, right? So that's something that we really pay attention to. But again, we're starting to try to get talent at a younger age. So when we,
let's say, how young, or what's the age that you're looking at?
As young as 12 years old, right? Okay. Sometimes, we spot the talent. They might not have the right environment, but if we feel like we could put it around it, and help the family or educate the parents throughout the process, then we're willing to do that. And we cannot do it for everyone, but there's a handful of players, like the special players that we're all in since they're like 12 years old, 13 years old, and let's try to give our best and educate the parents and bring the kid to the best academy. Sometimes we need to bring the family over to the academy as well, because obviously they're very young and they want to be close. But yeah, we cannot do that for everyone. So it's a combination.
Okay. Makes sense. Cool. So young upcoming kids, think about your environment, but think about as well, for me, just working hard, right? Obviously it's a given, but for agents.
Yeah, obviously those are givens. If it has to be specific to, when we're seeing someone play, we're not really looking for the pretty technique. We're looking for, the competitiveness, the pressure moments, how they handle the pressure moments, how they come back from, being behind and just fighting to the last point. Those are the qualities, because those things, I feel like it's so hard to develop. The technique and the strength you can work on, but that belief, that fighting spirit, It's
I don't think you don't just carry like comms. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, for sure. No, man, sounds good. I think you said you mentioned you have to make a hard stop, so I think you need to go. So we'll cut it down now.
No, but, if you want to do one more question,
I mean, it was not really that much. It was actually just about your other Costa del Sol investments. I find it cool that you're getting into that. You know, what is that about? That's with the Potro, or how's that looking like? And and one thing, where can I take a bottle, because I'm collecting stuff up there that I don't want my stuff to be up there. I want stuff from people to be up there. So you gotta tell me where I can get a bottle. If it's on the website, then if you ship here, I'm not sure if you can ship to Europe, but it'd be cool to have a bottle up there. So let's talk about that a little bit quickly.
Thanks for asking. And I mean, I'm a very curious guy, and I always like to venture out, learn from different industries, because I think at the end, it's all gonna come back to benefit my clients too. If I get to know how some things work, you know, it's always going to be beneficial for them. With that, there was an opportunity to get to know this brand. Casa del Sol is tequila, like premium tequila, with like a women angle. It's the first tequila founded by women, produced by women. The first, like, the master distillery is woman, which it never happens. Well, it's actually a little bit like a weird story how it happened, because I called a former IMG colleague that I thought at the time was still working for IMG, just to brainstorm and to say hi. And all of a sudden he's like, hey, I don't work for IMG anymore. I'm doing this and that. And we were just talking as friends. And then he mentioned the tequila. And I think Garbiñe had just come out of winning a tournament in Guadalajara, Mexico, the Masters, which is, you know, where most of the tequila is produced. Yeah. So I was like, okay, there might be a connection. Let's get you know, Casa del Sol in touch with Garbiñe and our team. And it just, you know, grew organically, because it's a young brand that they're looking to bring in the right people, and they love tennis as one of like the platforms to expose the brand. And the conversation, they were just very, very natural, very organic. You know, one of their main faces, which is Eva Longoria, is also into tennis, and we introduced them to Garbiñe, and they had a great click. So it's been fun. I personally got involved as an investor as well, because I'm passionate and I love to help. It just you know, started in the US just last year, and it's already growing in many different states. It launched in Mexico end of last year. It's growing in and it's going to be expanding to Europe pretty soon. So don't worry, you'll get your bottle very soon.
Sounds good.
The quality is great. They own the land, they produce it. It's not like they're renting it from another one that, you know, gets mixed with the rest. So it's a cool brand, cool angle. And again, it's just about learning and getting exposed to different industries.
Different things, different business. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Hey, awesome. That's awesome. That's really cool. And wish you good luck. And hopefully, as I said, next year, this year I'll be in the US. So hopefully you'll be around at the time when I'm around. Then we can play a little bit of padel and chat a little bit in real life next to a beer or a tequila or whatever. But yeah, thanks again for joining me and sharing your thoughts from your perspective, from your angle as an agent, from your angle as a player, from your angle as an investor. For me, it's interesting to hear about it, and hopefully for some of the people in there as well, it's interesting to hear about it. So we'll be in touch, and as I said, I will put a little bit of things if someone knows or needs anything in the padel world that please be interesting. They'll reach out to you, or they'll reach out to me, and then I'll connect you two if that's easier, whichever they feel like. So, but no, I appreciate your time, man, and
anytime.
Yeah, wish you good luck for whatever it is, and hope to see you.
All right, let's. I hope to connect another year from now. If that's okay. But obviously, we'll be in touch, and again, any way I can help to you, to the community, I'm very happy to do so. So, all right, we'll be in touch.
Thanks, see you soon. Thanks.
Cheers.
Ciao, man. Bye. Have a good one. Ciao, ciao.